out now from 101 Films in stunning 4K is the Alligator set. Now we're going to have a little dive into this one. We're going to start with Alligator from 1980, which personally is one of my favourite creature features. It is way better than it should be. It kind of starts off like an urban legend with people buying alligators. We follow one young girl who buys one. Father flushes it down the sewer. 12 years later, after living in the sewer, eating animals that have been chemically tested, this alligator has grown to an immense size and is starting to chow down on the citizens of this city. Enter our main character of Robert Forster, who is a detective, David, a man with a reputation for killing his partners. Not intentionally, not deliberately, but if your partner was David, there's a very good chance you're not going to see out the rest of your career. And he is just such a wonderful character, and it's down to Forster's performance as someone you just kind of like. You see him moving through this world. He is interesting, he's fun, he kind of seems to attract the ladies. He just kind of has this easygoing nature about him, and it is down to the performance that you like him so much. And you could see him investigating a murder, investigating a robbery. It just so happens it's a giant man-eating alligator in the sewers. But it just offers a hell of a lot of fun. And although there are certain points in this movie when it feels as though it's getting into the sort of low-budget feeling, it's still kind of creative and fun. Look, the moment where the alligator storms through the sewer and through the pavement and attacks some of the people on the street. It's wonderfully lo-fi, but it works. There is plenty of alligator chomping action. There is moments that are just incredibly fun and joyful, like when the alligator gate crashes a wedding and bad things happen to everybody there. It just has this feeling of playfulness about it. People will be put in danger, surprising people will be eating who you're not expecting it. You have this hard-boiled detective who's really fun to spend time with, investigating what exactly is going on. And then you have the kind of chemical angle as well, hitting on a hot topic. It has everything. Directed by Lewis Teague, who would go on to make a bunch of other great movies like Cujo, Cat's Eye, Julian and Niall, Wedlock. There's so many other fun films. He just kind of captures the aspect that we're all looking for. Fun engagement. He doesn't allow the movie to slip into tediousness. He keeps it going. He keeps it focused on either the fun characters or the alligator chomping its way through several supporting characters in this one. You get a kind of fun relationship at some points between the kind of girl who's grown up to become a scientist who is working with David, or you get Henry Silva turning up as Brock, the big game hunter who's going to definitely show this alligator what's happening. It's just incredibly fun. It has great pacing, it's got great performances, it's got enough blood and guts, and it keeps all the kind of genre elements you want into this movie. The 4K is perfect. It's perfect. It's a really good first 4K from 101 Films, and I think it's something that you should definitely have in your collection just for the movie, for the presentation alone. And that's before you jump into the extras that are on this disc. Let's have a look. So here we are in the bonus features disc of Alligator. We have the extended TV cut here. Let's go into the extras. First up, we have Everybody in the Pool, an interview with actress Robin Riker, which is 7 minutes 33 seconds. She has some fun stories about trying some substances with Robert Forster and kissing several men in a various plays she's been doing. Next up, we have Wild in the Streets, an interview with director Lewis Teague, which is 24 minutes 32 seconds, which is fantastic, talking about taking over the production, throwing out the script, bringing in John Sayles to work on it, how it was a really quick turnover in working in the storm drains. Next Among Us, Next, we have It Walks Among Us, an interview with the screenwriter John Sayles, 9 minutes 35 seconds. He's talking about the really quick pace about this project evolved, and then growing up with creature features and being able to kind of emulate that with a modern movie at the time. Then we have Luck of the Gator, interview with the makeup effects artist, which is 12 minutes 28 seconds. He's talking about the kind of great way they kind of created the skeleton for the alligator, and then he talks about that attack in the alligator park at the start of this one and how things could have gone really wrong. Next we have Gators, Guts, The Great River, and Bob, an interview with Bryan Cranston, which is such a wonderful extra. 22 minutes 17 seconds, and it's Bryan Cranston talking about getting started in acting in 1979, getting on the production crew of this movie, and how it kind of helped solidify his love of what he wanted to do and learn lots of different jobs. It's a fantastic extra. Next we have additional scenes from the TV version, which is 8 minutes in length. Then we have the teaser trailer, theatrical trailer, various TV spots, and that's the extras for Alligator. So there we have it, Alligator. It's the kind of standout film in this set, and it's worth the price alone just to get that, and such a fantastic, great addition. Also in this set is Alligator 2, The Mutation from 1991. Now, I had never seen this film before, and because of my love for the first one, it was something that I was somewhat interested in checking out. Again, you get Joseph Bologna as David, another cop in this one. Wouldn't you believe it? He's like Robert Forster, but without the charisma, without the acting chops. Well, he's really nothing like Robert Forster at all. He's a kind of Cypher as a main character. You kind of like him somewhat throughout the film, but the film and the character doesn't really help that. It's just a kind of main character. You kind of welcome that. There are so many things going on here that I did like. Dee Wallace as his wife, who seems to be obsessed with sexual innuendos throughout the film. You get Richard Lynch turning up as a kind of hillbilly gator hunter at one point, which was just unexpected, but a delight nonetheless. You get Steve Railsbeck as well. You get some bad guys in this one that are kind of nefarious, but it feels perfunctory. Everything about it just feels like it's riffing on the original, but lesser in every way. The characters are poor imitations of the one in the original. The alligator action is really tame and uninteresting and doesn't have quite the punch that it did in the original. Now, the original wasn't greatly big budgeted extravaganza, but it knew how to shoot it and create these fun sequences. This one doesn't quite know how to do that, and watching these relatively close to each other in my initial love for Alligator, I just found Alligator 2 The Mutation to be a pale comparison to that original. Still worth checking out. If you're a fan of the original like I am, you're probably going to want to see the second one at some point. So let's jump into the disc of this one, see what extras they have in store here. Here we are in the disc for Alligator 2. Let's go to the extras. First up, we have from the Echo Lake Lagoon, interview with director John Hess, which runs for 16 minutes 21 seconds, talking about his love for the original, how he came into this thinking or making a comparison between this story and Moby Dick, how they had a great idea, which he kind of breaks down little bits of, which does sound pretty fantastic, but the budget just curtailed that, and then working with Richard Lynch. Next up, we have Dead in the Water, an interview with special effects coordinator John Eggett, which is 7 minutes 18, and they're pretty much just, this is where it begins, where they're just crapping on the effects here and how it just never worked. They tried to do too much rather than having multiple models, and it just would never work. Next, they have Cutting with Teeth, interview with editor Marshall Harvey, which is just 5 minutes 11 seconds. There's a fun anecdotal story here about Richard Lynch and his bulge that had to be covered by CGI. Next up, we have Becoming the Hunted, an interview with actor Kane Hodder, which is 9 minutes 34 seconds. You talk about working on the original Alligator and not getting screen credit. kind of talking to Richard Lynch, how they kind of formed a bond over injuries that they'd had, and again, how the alligator just wouldn't work. Then we have Blood Brothers, an interview with second unit director Eugene Hess. He talks about his dad and how he created documentaries and various different things and how they worked with him. And again, we go into the alligator, which seems to have been the bane of everybody's life. We also have the theatrical trailer, and that's the extras for Alligator 2, The Mutation. There we have it. The Alligator box set from 101 Films, their first foray into 4K, and I can't wait to see what else they're going to do next. Terrific release. Pick up. Absolutely pick it up. I had a review disc through. I am going to be picking this up at some point soon because I want to add it to my collection. The 4K transfer, amazing. The extras, worth it alone. What more do you want? I would love to know your thoughts on Alligator or Alligator 2 The Mutation, so let me know in the comment box below. I also want to know if you've picked up this 101 edition of this film, or if you're going to. So drop me a comment in the comment box below. As always, there is content up here. If you'd like to see more of my stuff, in the description box are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com. Always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.